Hi everyone, as you may have noticed from my most recent post, I've been really interested in all of the regulatory changes that are now taking place in our industry. To be honest, it's no longer only about promoting growth. We're actually witnessing these actions turn some of the largest players into unstoppable forces in the cryptocurrency industry and beyond. I am referring to titans like Stellar, Hedera, and Ripple. Thanks to agencies like the CFTC finally beginning to cooperate with us, these names are set to become even more well known. Check this out then. Caroline D. Pham, the acting head of the CFTC, recently gave us some amazing news. She made the shocking announcement that the CFTC is now giving Americans who wish to trade effectively and safely within its rules the benefit of the doubt. Additionally, they are opening up global markets to the United States. Crypto sprint equals wins, she said. Come on. We've been looking for that kind of intensity. The focus of the entire situation is the FBOT advisory, which CFTC Pham recently released in an attempt to provide non-US exchanges with the much-needed regulatory clarity. Listen, this is huge because I know a lot of you are annoyed that we are unable to access a ton of cryptocurrency projects in the United States. With all the KYC regulations, using overseas exchanges is a nightmare, and the majority of exchanges do not carry them. In essence, we've been forced to use DEXs or completely lose out on some amazing projects, but this makes a huge difference. Caroline said that the regulatory certainty provided by today's FBOT recommendation is precisely what is required to lawfully restore all of the trading activity that was driven out of the United States due to the absurd enforcement techniques and regulations that we have been dealing with for years. Alright folks, by doubling down on the CFTC's classic playbook of genuinely giving us traders awesome choices and real access to those mind-blowingly deep, ultra-liquid global markets packed with every imaginable product and asset class, all those American companies that got totally steamrolled and forced to pack up for overseas just to keep their crypto trading dreams alive. Guess what though? Right now they are beginning to receive their golden invitation to return home. By extending a warm welcome to anyone wishing to trade effectively and securely under their incredibly strong regulations, the CFTC is essentially saying, hey Americans, come back and trade like absolute pros. They are also opening our market to the entire world. In all honesty, it's just another stunning illustration of how the CFTC continues to deliver devastating blows to President Donald Trump during our historic crypto sprint. Alright folks, this stuff is making me quite excited. It goes without saying that everyone is aware of the CFTC's deep-rooted ties to Ripple, and most importantly, our beloved XRP. In 2022, Caroline actually walked through the Ripple headquarters. It was most likely in December or even September of 2022, in my opinion, and this is what is truly astounding. The carnival of lawsuits was already shouting loud and clear that this whole legal disaster was nothing more than hot rubbish, and we were sitting right in the middle of it. But seriously, what sort of warped reasoning allows the SEC to declare absolute war on Ripple while the CFTC is merely hanging out with Brad Garlinghouse inside the company's San Francisco headquarters? All of it was completely nonsensical. But putting all of that aside for a second, Justin has also had an intriguing development, stating that in order to significantly increase their regulation of the cryptocurrency sector and prepare for far greater jurisdiction under some upcoming legislation, the US CFTC recently adopted Nasdaq's monitoring technology. For our entire industry, this is just wonderful news. I have a very strong intuition that the CFTC and SEC will soon begin to collaborate more than ever before. Just look at Caroline's profile, please. Beginning on July 31st, there's a whole new day onwards mood, and then, presto, she's posing with SEC Commissioner Paul Atkins. I wouldn't be shocked if these two agencies partnered in some significant way. They are already working together behind the scenes on a number of cryptocurrency projects. To be honest, I completely understand all of this. Sincerely, I wouldn't be at all surprised if these two titans truly began working together on a large-scale cooperative crypto approach. Beyond all of that legal issues though, we've been seeing some pretty amazing changes in the US market as a whole. For instance, the Faster Payments Council just made a significant announcement. The members of the Faster Payments Council's 2025-2026 FPC Board Advisory Committee have supposedly been announced with great excitement. Now pay attention, this is really fascinating material, and here's precisely why I think this is so fascinating. Here is where we will examine this specific group in more detail. On August 28th, this announcement was made public. The FPC, or the US Faster Payments Council, is a membership organization that is entirely focused on advancing safety. America's highly user-friendly Faster Payments just made the significant announcement today regarding the addition of new members to their 2025-2026 FPC Board Advisory Group. This Board Advisory Committee, which was established by the FPC Board of Directors itself, is now brimming with titans of the industry who contribute a wealth of payment expertise and essentially assist in establishing the organization's top goals and transformative projects. All of these incredibly large players are among the newcomers. Here I'm referring to several very powerful American corporations such as Charles Schwab and American Express. The list of amazing heavy hitters just keeps getting longer. Even witnessing the entry of credit unions, as well as the participation of JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs. Okay, but things become even more intriguing when we turn to look at the roster of returning members. Corporate One Federal Credit Union has returned. Yes, more credit unions are participating. Juniper, Jedi, Payload, Volante and Nasdaq Payments are also included. Just how many huge names are featured here? The Federal Reserve Financial Services and further banks are then visible as you scroll down. Then suddenly there it is. Ripple is represented by James Selig. This is the quotation that truly drew my attention. Having these new faces here makes us very happy. To the board advisory group, and we are immensely appreciative of all the recurring members who continue to support us. This formidable team's combined wealth of knowledge will assist guide the FPC as we remain laser focused on workable solutions that really spur the broad adoption of speedier payments. It's really amazing stuff, isn't it? There is some backstory here that is worth exploring, so this is where things get even more fascinating. This group reportedly helps the FPC identify new trends before they happen, think of interesting new prospects and take on genuine difficulties in the realm of speedier payments by utilizing all the experience that its members have to offer. This board advisory committee has been the impetus behind some very significant discussions concerning adoption hurdles, starting new work groups and discovering real-world use cases that truly matter since they first got started back in 2020. Our hidden weapon is essentially our board advisory committee, assisting us in staying ahead of significant changes in the payments landscape and ensuring that our work really reflects the urgent demands of the sector. Their direction keeps our projects realistic, forward-looking and truly effective. Very interesting stuff. Now keep in mind that the FPC's primary goal is to become an industry-leading membership organization with the amazing goal of developing a top-notch payment system that will enable Americans to send money to anybody, anywhere, at any time, and with nearly instantaneous availability. Does anyone listening detect any familiarity with that? Because that sounds just like the idea of the Internet of Value that Ripple has been promoting for a very long time. And don't forget that some of the largest banks and significant corporations are seated in this group right next to Ripple. Imaginable guys, this link to Ripple is beyond incredible. We have undoubtedly discussed this relationship previously, but the first thing that comes to mind when you go to their website and look at some of these other names is ubiquity, which is the route to quicker payments, begins with you. Utilizing both public and private partnerships is the main strategy they are using here. In fact, the BIS is promoting the exact same aim. The construction of this groundbreaking financial infrastructure has been the covert collaboration of all these key parties. In the upcoming years, it is going to change everything. However, when we look at the powerful names associated with the FPC, we speak of global behemoths like BNY, the Clearing House, Trustly, MasterCard and ACI. Then came Dava. What's really amazing about some of these businesses and even some of the other names connected to this FPC council is what comes next. When we look at athletes like Volante and comparable groups, just think about all the amazing links that lead directly back to Ripple. This incredibly powerful industry force is Volante. They made the decision to introduce Volpay back in 2021. Additionally, Volpay was created especially for speedier payments infrastructure as well as ISO 2002 integration. Although Volante and Swift already have a close relationship, we are certain that Ripple is already connected to the cloud in addition to Swift. Their API communication mechanism makes this possible. Furthermore, Volante has confirmed to us on several occasions that they are able to use XRP. Thus the answer is definitely affirmative. The best part of all of this is about to happen. We're discussing broad payment flows for cross-border transactions as well as the FX market. However, we go